Uncrop. I'm Hewie Poplock. I want to introduce you to a tool called Uncrop. It allows users to transform and expand backgrounds in their photos, helping to create stunning compositions. I am sure most of you have cropped a photo at one time or another. This is the opposite. You have a graphic that is not large enough to fit in a needed space. This tool fills that space. There are four types of uncrops. There's portrait, which you see there. Then there's art and texture and landscape. We're going to do portrait first, and I have over to the right some examples, and here's the first one that I'm bringing over. It's this picture. It was created by AI, but it doesn't fill in the spaces that I want. So if we say start, it automatically will uncrop that picture and give us some examples. The first example, the second example. You can see the different ways it does. Let's go ahead, and I like this one the best. No, I like this one better, and we'll choose it and download it. Let's see what it looks like. And there it is. Of course, this was done by AI, so you can see that the faces aren't perfect, but you can see it filled in the spaces, and it looks like it was part of that picture. There it is at 100%, which makes it a little bit clearer. We'll continue with the portrait mode and use a photograph, but this is a photograph of a screenshot, so it's not really clear, but let's see what it does and how it handles it. So it did a pretty good job considering. Remember, AI has issues with letters, so it didn't do well with adding Ron's name or anything to Ron's name. But let's take a look now. We'll go ahead and choose the one we want. We'll download it, and then we'll open it. It's actually done a fairly decent job. Okay, let's try one more photograph, this time of me. It's a single shot, and it had been apparently cropped from a bigger picture, I would imagine. And we're going to then tell it we want to fill in the sides. This is being done in real time, so you're seeing the little circles go round and round, but you'll see that it doesn't take much time. And there's actually at least one of these is pretty good. Let's take a look at them. I think there's too many flowers in that one. And again, you got two screens. Got two screens in all of them, I think. But let's take a look at the one that I chose as probably the best one. Tell it to download. And let's see what it comes out as. And there it is. Not a bad job to use as a photograph with other people with me. Next, let's try one of the AIs that I produced. And it's this one, and we're going to add more on either side of it again, and we're going to click to go ahead and start, and it does real time, so you're seeing the little circles go around until it creates, and it's that fast. AI doesn't handle words very well, so none of these really came out well, but let's take a look at what we've got. And we'll choose one of them to download. But remember that AI does not handle letters and words in graphics very well. As you can see, it didn't here either. And I still kind of like this one, so I went ahead and downloaded it. Let's do another in the art category, and this time you may remember seeing this in my Zoom meetings, And this time we're going to tell it to go ahead and start. It then is in a waiting list because this is a very popular site. So sometimes you have to wait a little bit for it to continue and generate. But here's one of the ones that came up. Let's take a look at the others. And that one's pretty good. That's good. I really like that one out of all of them. And so we'll take a look at this last one. We'll go back to this one and we'll tell it to download. And so now we've got a wider picture using that same artistic view. For our next example, let's take the landscape mode and bring in a picture of a landscape. And there it is. Now, this was outside of Las Vegas. Let's go ahead and click to make it wider. Remembering that we don't have to always make it wider. You can make it at the top, you can make it at the bottom, and you can move it around wherever you want. So let's look at what we've got with this one. We've got some pretty good shots, I think. And we're going to choose one of them. And then we'll download it and open it up. I like that one. I like this one the best, actually. And we'll go ahead and download it and open it. And boy, it sure looks like everything there belongs. A feature similar to this is available in the brand new version of Photoshop, but of course it's considerably more expensive. Let's take a look at this picture now. We've got some things at the top and the bottom we want to fill in, and we're going to go ahead and say next. And when we do, it's going to give us 4 choices. Each of those look pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at all of them and then decide which one I like the most. We'll download it and open it and take a look at it. And it looks very good. It looks very realistic, and it's done a nice job. As our final example, we'll take one that we used earlier, but we're going to move it over to the side a little bit. We're going to move it down a little bit, so we have to have something added to the top of the picture and also over to the side, to one side. So you can move it around any place you want and then fill in the area that's exposed. So we got a little bit of area at the top of the picture, a little bit at the right of the picture, and let's see what it's doing. Now, we are in line. We have to wait a little bit for some other people to have their pictures uncropped. And here's what we got. You'll notice that at the top, the hats added a little bit more to the hats and the top of the balloons. And we added, of course, some people to the right. We'll take a look at the various examples. We'll choose the one we like the most, and then we'll download it and open it up. We looked at all of them. Well, here's the one I chose, and we'll go ahead and download it. And here's what it looks like with the hats and the balloons. You can see the tops of them, and it actually filled in the area to the right as well. So it did a really nice job for us. Let's take a look at the pricing. Right now, there are 2 levels. There's free and the pro. The free, of course, is $0, and the pro is $7 a month. But you can see that it'll do most everything. It's just not unlimited in the free, but it doesn't tell you how much you can do. Right now, it seems to be unlimited, but we don't know how long that's going to last. So if you want to try it and play with it, now would be a good time. Hopefully they'll keep a free level. And as you can see down here at the bottom, it's available on the iOS, Android, web, and Photoshop, as well as Figma. Here's the website. From Clipdrop, it's Uncrop. I'm Hewie Poplock.